And welcome back to the Constitutionals podcast. I'm your host, Chad White. If you didn't know, this is the premier podcast for the website, cpluscomedy.com. Like I just said, it's a website. Go there. Here we are, episode 207 of the Constitutionals podcast. Been doing this for at least 210 weeks. I do skip episodes here and there. Just no point sometimes. Not for news time. News time I'll knock out in a second. A heartbeat. Not a heartbeat. It takes forever to knock one of those out. Speaking of which, I put one up late yesterday. News time, of course, not the Constitutionals. And the Constitutionals on time, baby. Today, this week. And let me tell you, it was a feat because there was nothing going on. I have this thing that is sitting like at the end of this cord for the mic that is just that it's an extra input. I don't know if you can see it. You probably can't. It's an extra 3-prong input that's like has a red thing on it. But the one for the mic's already plugged in, and the one for the Zoom is plugged in. I also used the Zoom yesterday during an interview, and let me tell you, battery's almost dead. So I don't know. And I can't charge it because that cable's currently is plugged into the DSLR, so I can use it for a webcam. I'm all over the place. I got nothing going on, no job prospects, which is very true. And single, probably for the rest of my life. But you know what? I'm here. Not queer. You better be used to it. I did a pride run this morning for Peloton. They do themed runs. Trash trucks outside, I guess. Not trash. Today's Friday. Recycling. Who knows? They haven't been here in like 3 or 4 weeks. What else happened? I did a pride run. I don't have a lot going on. Nova was outside. Last night I was cooking, and Nova was outside on the porch. And then she just starts profusely meowing. And I'm thinking, first of all, I don't like it when she meows outside in the first place. I don't like it when she meows in the apartment, but she's a cat. She's got to do what she's got to do. But when she's meowing outside, she's either talking to the birds, or that's it. She's usually just talking to the birds, or she's like bored or something. So I go outside. I got an apron. I have an apron on, and I have a pair of shorts, and that's it. So I'm just letting the top half breathe because it's hot. Because I have the door open, so this cat can go outside. And also I'm cooking, and I'm letting some. I was sous videing and letting some of the heat out. So, and there's heat in sous vide. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. So I go outside. Sous vide is like a water bath. You put your food in a plastic bag, and a machine heats up water. I have an Instant Pot that does it. It doesn't do it very well, but it heats up water to the temperature that you need it at, like 160 degrees for chicken or something. If you want like pork chops, steak, it can do 145 degrees, stuff like that. Keeps it there for the entire time. And then you can have it in there as long as you need it to, and then an hour, 24 hours, something like that. And then, you take it out, toss it on a skillet for like a minute or two, and then sear it on both sides, whatever. And then that's it. That's what sous videing is. So I did that. But anyway, Nova's outside meowing, and I go look, and then the people that live next to me, their balcony is like I can see into their apartment. I can see, and you know why? Because I keep their windows open, and I never have mine open now because I don't. I want to let some sun in, but no, I don't want them looking in here. I don't want them seeing my collection of Blu-rays. What else is on that wall? My books, the plant that's over there, the one vinyl I have, which is the Lego Movie vinyl, double. It's a double vinyl, and she's meowing. And I go outside. My neighbor's out there, and his cat's out. I didn't know they had a cat because I don't talk to them. And except for one time, they played a friggin' bass guitar at 10 o'clock at night. I'm trying to go to bed. Okay, man, you gotta turn it down. He's like, "Oh, you're trying to go to sleep?" Yeah. Nice guy though, nice guy. And we just had a little chat. He's like, "No, it's okay." I was like, "Oh, I just don't want her bothering people." And it turns out my cat was the only one instigating the meowing. She's looking outside, meow, 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 just screaming her meows. And then so I go back to the kitchen. I'm like, no, go back inside. I go back to the kitchen, and like 10 seconds goes by. She does this all the time. She pops her head back outside, meow, meow. She's so annoying. She's the only thing I have in my life. That's it. She's the only thing I have in my life. Let's get on to the first topic. WarnerMedia and Discovery's new company has a familiar name. I'm not wearing shorts right now. It's very hot. I'm on the top floor. I keep the air at 70, between 78 and 80, because I don't want it running all the time, because the bills here are insane. And at my last apartment, it was all tile. It was all tile and concrete, so it was friggin' cold during the winter. Yeah, during the winter it was friggin' cold, but during the summer it was very cold. Jesus, guys, come on. It was very cold. And the first super hot day here, which is like a couple weeks ago, I noticed that it was so hot, and the air was running constantly. But you know what? This is a much better apartment than the last one. Discovery and WarnerMedia have a new name for their merged company. This comes from the rap written by Jennifer Moss and Lindsay Ellefson. The newly formed company. Let's discuss this tagline, which is "The stuff dreams are made of." I don't think anyone does. Anyone runs with their taglines anymore. Like, you don't go to Kroger or Publix. You don't go to Publix and go, "This is where shopping is a pleasure." Like, no one is saying that. So I don't get why they are excited about this tagline, because no one uses them in real life outside of ad campaigns. David Zaslav is obviously going to leave. There's not much to the story except that the name is... the name. Right. The name is Warner Bros. Discovery, which they seem too happy about. The deal is going to close in mid-2022, and it's going to have the company's going to come with a valuation more or less of $130 billion, which I hope affects my stock in Discovery, which I did buy. Again, AT&T is going to own about 71% of the new company, and Discovery is going to have 29% of it as well. The anticipated 2023 revenue is approximately $52 billion, with $15 billion of that expected in direct-to-consumer revenue. So I'm thinking with the deal coming to a close in mid-2022, which would be like next year around this time, and them being so gung-ho about bundles, I don't think it's outside of the realm for them to end of life one of the apps, either HBO Max or Discovery Plus. I think that the best way for them to handle two apps would be just to have two apps. I mean, nobody, you can have two different audiences or you can have one audience for three different apps. Look at Disney's bundle app, the Disney's bundle, I guess, the Disney bundle. Disney's bundle. They could, like, Disney Plus is a family thing. Hulu is more of a mature thing, and ESPN is sports, obviously. And now you can access ESPN because there's no regular ESPN. There's no standalone ESPN Plus app. You can access Hulu, ESPN on ESPN Plus on Hulu with live TV, or Hulu, excuse me, and that makes sense. That just makes sense. But you can't access regular ESPN if you don't have Hulu with live TV. So I would surmise that they wouldn't kill one of these apps. They wouldn't kill either one, because then that just causes bloating and confusion. Look at Netflix. all the stuff that's on there. I think I've had There Will Be Blood on there, and that's been going on and off the surface for the like years and years and years. I think I've had that on my list, and there's just they only recommend what you see, and then when something gets popular, that's when it is pushed to the front page of everybody, or when something comes out. When Sweet Tooth comes out, I assume that came out today, because I got an email about it. But when it does, that's when, you'll know because it's out and it's on the front page and they're advertising it. And then whether it performs well or not, it'll either stay on the front page or it'll disappear into the ether. I mean, there are tons of shows on Netflix that I just haven't seen or forgot existed. I mean, obviously haven't seen, but just shows that you forget existed. Like I remember, I think like 2 weeks ago, I was watching something with John Bernthal in it, and what was it? It was a movie. Oh, the firefighter movie. That's right. The firefighter. Those Who Wish Me Dead. He doesn't die. At one point at the end, they think he did, and then he like pops back to life. It's a real funny moment. It really is. He has a black wife in the movie, that movie is more diverse than anything Disney has done in the past. Anything Disney or Netflix have done in the past couple of years. That's very true. And so John Bernthal was in the movie, and I go, oh yeah, let's see what he's been doing this past couple of years. And then you look, and you go on his Wikipedia page or his IMDb, and then you see the Punisher show, and you're like, oh, that Punisher show. I never watched it, never saw a second of it. Don't really give a crap about superhero shows anymore, except for the Flash, and that's trouble, man. Flash is. I used to watch every single second of that show, and now I get up, I cook during it, barely paying attention. I was like, oh, hurry up, finish the show. Finish this episode. I mean, when people leave a show and they put in these new characters that you don't even remember, why stay along for the ride? All right, let's move on. This next one comes from Variety and Todd Spangler. Speaking of streaming services, HBO Max with ads. Speaking of HBO Max, HBO and Warner, excuse me. HBO Max with ads launches. What's different in the $10 monthly plan? So this week, the long-awaited, the year-long wait for HBO Max with ads is over. When this was touted as the cheaper option, it's $10, so it's $5 cheaper. And I made this joke in News Time this week. If you're waiting for HBO Max with ads to save $5, I don't know what kind of person are you? Like, come on, man. That's like paying for what's the cheapest version of Netflix? $9, I think, and it's SD. You don't get any HD. You just go up to the $14 or the $13 one. Come on. Also, the 4K streaming one is like $18. I saw. Ugh. So this it's gonna have ad. We'll get it in a second. Next week it is going. Paramount Plus is. Oh, that's the next story. Okay, well, next week Paramount. Let's do them both at the same time. It really doesn't matter. So we just gotta rush this stupid episode. So Paramount Plus' essential plan with ads launches on June 7th. This comes from R. Lawler over at Engadget. So this is $1 cheaper plan than what CBS All Access with ads was. And it includes live TV. So let's start with the Paramount Plus one first. The Paramount Plus regular is $10 per month without ads. And that was available. They got rid of when CBS All Access became Paramount Plus. They got rid of the 2-tier system just for that point, and then so you can only pay for $10 per month. And then now there's a cheaper option that's coming next week. That's $5, obviously. The existing cheaper option with limited commercials is $6 per month. It'll go away, You can keep it if you subscribe before the 7th. One reason you might want to do that, Mr. Lawler writes, that is that, unlike, I shouldn't interject the name, but I want to. I want these people to get their shout out. Is that unlike the new Essential plan, it includes access to live broadcasts from your local CBS station. And as long as your subscription remains active, you'll continue to stay on that. Wow, okay. So the Essential plan is just the streaming stuff, and you don't get live action. I thought you got the live TV, but apparently you don't. Okay. Otherwise, the new $5 per month or $50 per year Essential plan promises the following. Stream with limited commercial interruptions. Watch 30,000 episodes. Should probably act breaks. They'll probably put in, 30 seconds or 45 seconds worth of ads and act breaks. When the act break is when a show fades to black. And then right before it comes up for the next scene. A scene is, no, I'm kidding. Watch 30,000 episodes of television on demand. Stream NFL on CBS and Champions League Live. Get 24/7 national news with CBSN. I can get CBSN on a potato. I don't know why they're bragging about that. The more expensive version is still available for $10 per month or $100 per year. And that allows you to download the shows and movies with no ads. Now, on the HBO Max side, $10 and $15 for the ad and the ad-free version, respectively. Now, aside from commercial breaks and other ad formats, I wonder what that means, Mr. Spangler. The ad-supported HBO Max version has a few other key differences from the full price tier. The ad-supported tier will not include the ability to download shows for offline viewing. Now, that really kind of goes on a case-by-case basis. If you were traveling, let's say, and you really wanted to see The Sopranos, then it makes sense for you, and that's the only thing you're watching. It makes sense for you just, to have the $15 one, and then to download all the episodes you want, and then to watch all the episodes you want. But after being inside for a year, and then there's no promise of traveling, and let's say you have unlimited on Verizon or T-Mobile, don't know why you would use AT&T, but it's there. I think Google Fi has unlimited too, and I wouldn't. I wouldn't do that. But that's what the $15 tier would be for. Streaming video quality will be capped at 1080p, whereas the select titles in the regular HBO Max without ads are available in 4K Ultra HD. Now, here's the thing: if you don't have a 4K TV or a streaming device capable of outputting true 4K, then this kind of makes sense. And if you don't mind ads, this kind of makes sense. If for me, I don't have a 4K TV, but the PlayStation, the Xbox Series X, both Google Chromecast with Google TVs, my Galaxy S21, my iPad Pro, they all probably, can handle watching that stuff. I don't think the S21 and the Ultra and the iPad Pro, that's right here in front of me. I don't think you can watch 4K on there, but I think it helps to have that larger video file, sapping up all that data. That data storage is what I'd say. Warner Bros. Same day premiere. If you just have a Roku premiere that I think tops out at 1080p, and you have a 1080p TV, then it just makes sense. And if you can handle ads, it makes sense just to do the $10 service. And here's an interesting thing. The Warner Bros. Same day premiere films debuting in theaters and on HBO Max throughout 2021 are not included in the HBO Max ad-supported tier. However, all those titles are slated to become available on both plans when the films debut on streaming service in the months following their theatrical release as part of the HBO's output deal with Warner Bros. Now, the Wonder Woman came out in December. And it was on HBO Max for a couple of weeks. I'd say probably like a month and a half or something like that. And then they took it off. And just recently, I would say within the past couple of weeks, it landed back on HBO Max as a true HBO movie instead of being a theatrical release. Uh, if you're somebody who wants to see these movies, or if you're still concerned about going to the theaters, like I am, uh, like I'm supposed to, like people just, you get the shots and then they go, all right, everything's fine, you can go do everything, and people go, great, let's go do everything. I'm still gonna take it a little bit easy because we were in a pandemic and we still don't know. Remember when the pandemic started and we were literally learning things every single day about this coronavirus. Maybe take it easy. Hearing the Yankees, some of a player and some staff from the Yankees get reinfected after being vaccinated. It's just, I just want to take it easy. Okay, I understand. Go have your fun. Go to the bars. Go do this. Go do that. I'm gonna take it just a little bit easy. I'm still wearing a mask to the gym. I think I'm the only person in my gym still wearing a mask. Maybe like two other people, but I'm strong enough that it doesn't matter. Truly, it does not matter. Nobody's gonna say anything to me. Nobody's gonna make fun of me behind my back. The stuff I do in there, so it's not like a brag. It is, because I take care of it, because I do it. I do it. But whatever. Commercials will not play during HBO programming, so that's another caveat, or a good caveat. I don't know what a good caveat is. Ooh, good caveat. That's a good title. I guess is another positive aspect of what HBO Max with ads is, because that was another thing people were concerned about. 74 million people voted for a racist, and most people were mad and like, they're putting up the ads during my HBO stuff. It's funny when like Netflix and YouTube and like basically every single tech company, if they have a bunch of users, will put out alphas and betas into like random users, and they'll ask them survey questions and stuff, and then so Netflix periodically, years and years ago, they put ads into, like, they had a survey that said, would you be mad if there's like a 30-second pre-roll before the movies, and people were just so against it, or before their movies and shows, people were so against it. And you know what, Amazon Prime does it, I don't care. It's 20 to 30 seconds. They're not going to ask for more, because then at that point, then you'll stop using it. They don't do it for every single show or movie, and most of the time you can skip it. When I was watching Mad About You, which I finished, and I got into the new season, which is not good. They played, commercials for that puppy, the dog skiing show. I think that's what it is, or Christmas. I don't know what it is, but they kept playing that. And Mad About You is a show from 20 some odd years ago. It doesn't, I mean, who cares? Who cares? I can get up, I can go to the kitchen, grab a bag of chips, I can put my phone on I can pick up my phone for 10 seconds. I could stretch. There's so many things I can do. If it plays during the show, that's the problem. Or the movie, that's the problem. Otherwise, who cares? Man. All right. Over time, subscribers of the ad-supported tier, quote, can expect to see greater personalization of the ads they see. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. Just do the ads. That's where I have a problem. The company has inked deals with more than 35 advertisers across all major categories from the month of June, with 72 different creative ad spots. HBO Max with ads is launching with, quote, frequency caps to ensure viewers will not see the same ad spot more than a few times. To give that to Peacock, because I see some of that stuff twice during the same break. It's not a joke. And then, of course, Jason Kilar is going to stay out until next year. So ad-supported streamers are coming back in full force because people don't want, the concern is rather that people don't want to be paying cable prices for all of these streaming services when they could just go back to cable. They probably won't. but whatever. So if people have these cheaper options, then they're more likely to jump aboard. Again, if you're paying for Netflix, the SD streaming option, get over yourself. Get over it. Pay the extra $4. Pay the extra $4. I don't understand why that's still an option. The camera or something made a noise, and it got me concerned. This next one comes from Variety again, written by Brian Steinberg. Savannah Guthrie Hodakatbi, who I just found out is Egyptian. So, good. I like finding out people are people of color. Like finding out what's her name? Anya Taylor-Joy. Anna Taylor-Joy. Anya or Anya? Who gives a crap? Finding out the young woman who starred in Split and Queen's Gambit is half Argentinian. I went, great. I thought she was just another white woman. But now, that's why I didn't want to watch Queen's Gambit, because it just didn't have a lot of people of color in it. And also, I'm on that kick. I'm not watching any shows or movies that don't have people of color in it. Put them in. Just put them in. That's all you gotta do. And I'm gonna expand that to women too. If you don't have women or people of color, man, there's 720,000 other things I can watch. 720,000 other things I can watch. Guthrie and Cotby are going to anchor Streaming Today highlight show. So there's going to be a Today highlight show that's coming, and I don't think it's going to be on Peacock. Starting June 8th, the duo will take the network's nearly 7-decade-old Today show into new territory. The pair will add their on-screen duties by anchoring a half-hour highlights recap meant to bring the most recent Today news to streaming audiences. Each weekday, Guthrie and Cotby and Guthrie, sorry, that's the way it looks on the screen, will at 1 p.m., with repeats at 7 and 9, co-anchor Today and 30, a show that aims to give viewers the network's Today All Day streaming outlet, and YouTube a summary of the best interviews and tips presented earlier that morning throughout all 4 hours of the Today linear broadcast. Oh, Jesus. So my understanding of this is Hoda and Savannah are going to, at the end of their shifts, at the end of their 4-hour show, just record maybe 15 minutes worth of straight to camera stuff, and pray to God that the top stories don't change throughout the rest of the day. I mean, that's what it sounds like. And then they're gonna air this 1 p.m. thing. Then there's gonna be some behind the scenes of the show that morning viewers will not get to see. So they said it's for YouTube and the Today All Day streaming outlet. Now, is that Peacock? Is that Peacock streaming channel? And that is on. Oh no, it's on. That's the website. Today All Day is on the website today.com. I don't know why. No, who does that? Who puts that on? Who's putting on Today All Day? Let me see if that's on Peacock. Because it would make sense for that to be on Peacock, but I don't know. I mean, it's not 2008 anymore. Nobody's going, we got to have a linear channel for the Today Show. Excuse me. The U.S. Women's Open is on. Oh yeah, look at this beautiful lady take a swing. I'm sorry. All right. Okay, chat. NBC News now. A WWE channel snapped Law and Crime Network. SNL Vault, Fallon Tonight. Peacock picks movies. Peacock picks comedy. I don't see. Oh, Today All Day. Here it is. Yeah. Okay. Well, more power to them. Good for them. I don't know why it's on the website. Who's going to the website? And then there's going to be somebody, ooh, I click on the website and I watch it from there because dipping. Today may even be borrowing a page from ESPN, offering a Sports Center of sorts for its own content. Because there's a Sports Center half hour headlines, I think, that comes on in the morning. Yeah, I mean, this is a smart idea. This is going to be good for great ad revenue stuff. This is going to, because they run ads on the Peacock live streaming thing. They, I imagine, they're not on Pluto. That's right. So I don't know. So I guess they're just going to have ads on those YouTube videos and the website streaming. And they talk about ads. They talk about ads in this story. Yes, and I just brought that up. Look at me. I'm smart. This is part of a bigger move for NBC to bring Today. This guy, what's his name? Steinberg wrote Into Tomorrow. Those are his words, not mine. In July of last year, the company launched Today All Day, the video feed of the Today clips, and then executives think Today can provide an answer to Madison Avenue's increasing demand for streaming content that is safe for big brands, says one of the execs. Yeah, I like it. Good idea for them. They have satellite radio. Oh, because Hoda Kotb has a show on SiriusXM. I believe it's a podcast style show. But it is only available on SiriusXM. They have book clubs, which, yeah, makes sense. They're the either number one or number two most watched morning show. There's going to be more Today original programming. Al Roker's got a food program. Okay. NBC News is going to launch 2 other food segments. What is up with this? Anthony Contrino is going to host a show called Saucy. Okay, that's gross. Which will focus on Italian cuisine while #cooking, Jesus Christ, is going to be hosted by food blogger Samadada, and examines plant-based meals, snacks, and desserts. Didn't change the title to plant-based meals, snacks, and desserts. At least Saucy makes sense with the Italian thing. #cooking that's ugh. I hate both of those titles, but that one pisses me off. And Gwyneth Paltrow is slated to appear in every episode. Oh, in an early episode, of a shopping program that's going to appear monthly on Today's streaming platform or whatever. Hey man, get a use out of it. I wish some type of Saturday Night Live thing would happen, but. And I think that's why they doubled down on Jimmy Fallon. They have 5 years. They got him for 5 more years. So I think, good idea. Speaking of news streaming service, I think I have a cat hair on my tongue. Speaking of streaming news services, this comes from the Wall Street Journal, written by Benjamin Mullen. CNN ramps up a streaming push as Discovery merger looms. So CNN is kind of the outlier with this WarnerMedia stuff, the Warner Bros. Stuff. I just got used to the name WarnerMedia, but CNN is often talked about being sold off, and it doesn't make sense because it is a big money grab. It is a big. I think it does. I think it does well enough, even if it doesn't do as hot as Fox News. But I think it does well enough for Warner to justify them for Discovery now to justify them keeping it with the company. But CNN is apparently going to have its own streaming service. Internally, I would tell you about it if I worked there, but I don't. Internally, the closest I got was that Starbucks at the bottom of CNN Center. It's not a joke. I worked there for a little bit. It sucked. Internally, the working title for the streaming platform is CNN Plus. And it's going to feature shows from the network's major anchors, including Anderson Cooper, Don Lemon, and people who aren't homosexual. Okay, I'm sorry. That was pretty funny. Come on. Happy Pride Month. I did a Pride run this morning. Remember that. It was Maddie Majacomo and Peloton. It was very fun. I'm a friend of the queers. Title of the episode. Those shows would be separate from the programs hosted by a guy named Mezzers, a person named Mezzers. Who's Mezzers? Who's Mezzers? I don't see a Mezzers in here. What? Who is Mezzers? Okay, whatever. Who cares? Cooper and Lemon on CNN's TV channel. Okay. This is a poorly written article, and nobody double-checked this. The network, and I did not read it, so the network's effort coincides with recent moves by cable and broadcast competitors to bulk up streaming offerings as viewers shift away from traditional television. CNN has struck new deals over the past year with many of its anchors that encompass their work for CNN Plus. So they've been working on this for a little bit. This isn't just something that they just pulled out of the air, which makes sense. Those deals locked in pay increases for anchors, but they don't include bonuses tied to the streaming platform's eventual subscriber numbers, that people said. So that's another thing that's been going along with these streamers. I don't think there's a lot of money on the back end for people who continue to make shows for Netflix or Hulu or any of that, because streaming's kind of, as much as I say podcasting is the Wild Wild West, streaming is the Wild Wild West. This is the next one. This is the next Wild Wild. I just call it the Wild West. Streaming is the next part of that, because when you're a big company, you're going to make all that money. And I mean, you can say the same thing for NBC Universal. They're going to take all of that today revenue, but Savannah Guthrie and Hoda Kotb have been there for years, so they should make. I think they're worth a lot more than NBC Universal is allowing can afford. And that goes for a lot of personalities on television. That's why The Rock is who he is, and Kevin Hart, and and Angelina Jolie, because they're just mega stars. And I mean, maybe I'm biased because I'm a news person, but Hoda Kotb and Gail, Judy Woodruff, they're a lot bigger than the names of the programs they work for. Throw Judy in there. I love PBS NewsHour, man. I watch it every single day. Across the TV news industry, anchors and show producers are sometimes awarded for bonuses for drawing more viewers than rival shows in the same time slot. That's basically the end. CNN Plus is going to be another streaming service. No one knows when it's going to launch, if it's going to be its own thing. I don't, Fox News has Fox News Nation, or Fox Nation, which is a streaming service in itself. And it launched in 2018. And then Peacock has news stuff from NBC News and Today. Paramount Plus has CBSN, and Paramount Plus and Pluto TV both have CBSN, and I don't think they do have original programming, but it's not stuff you can just pick out of thin air and watch. Like, I was gonna say Ari Melber, but he's on MSNBC. No, he might have a show on Peacock. Let's see what these shows on Peacock are. Oh, I'm just opening up Peacock twice today. Look at me. That's 2 more times than usual. Hire me. I won't make any jokes. NBC News Now on The Choice. Allison Morris. So those are 2 shows. Zerlina, that's her name. I thought Ari Melber. Sam Cedar. Nightly News. Mehdi Hassan. So that's 3. Mehdi Hassan, Zerlina, and Sam Cedar's show. That's and those are all under The Choice. I don't know what that is. Yeah, so there you go. News programming is big, and if you can choose to watch it whenever, then or have these exclusive interviews, or we talked to I was gonna say Steve Rannazzisi. Oh God. That's the guy comedian who's on The League, who also said he was in 9/11. Go look it up. Cable news ratings are down. This is a way to bring it back up. Cable news channels that are starting streaming services, not a way to bring it back up traditionally, but I mean like a way to keep eyes on CNN or Fox or MSNBC. Cable news channels that are starting streaming services are seeking to do so without alienating their TV distributors. Some networks like CNN are attempting that balancing act by creating new shows that don't duplicate their traditional TV lineups. That's why they have a show like, United States of Black, or what's it called? W. Kamau Bell's W. Kamau Bell's show. and Lisa Ling's show, and they had Anthony Bourdain's show. That's why those shows are popular, because they aren't traditional CNN fare. The stuff they do, like I Love the 80s. What is it called? What is that 80s show called? And then The Story of Late Night, which I am one episode into. The thing is, you can't stream The Story of Late Night. What was it called? Inside the NBA's documentary aired. I watched that live on television. And then a couple of weeks later, it was available on HBO Max. That's what CNN needs. That's what WarnerMedia Discovery needs to do with the CNN documentaries. Because they're good documentaries. I just want to watch them without having to fast forward through whatever YouTube TV commercials are playing, or watch them on demand, which I could do. That's probably the easiest thing. Okay, who cares? It's recorded. That doesn't matter. I'm playing about the worst stuff. Current plans call for CNN Plus to be a standalone app, separate from other Warner Media streaming services like HBO Max. It couldn't be learned whether the CNN Plus platform will be bundled with others owned by the company that results in the merger of Discovery. So let's pretend that comes out later this year. They would have HBO Max, CNN Plus, and Discovery Plus. And then they could do a bundle for ad-supported HBO Max, Discovery Plus, and CNN Plus. Let's say that's $5 per month. They could do a bundle for $15 and get away with it. Because I think the Disney bundle is like $13 or $14 with Hulu with live ads or whatever. But then again, Hulu with live TV is $5 per month. ESPN Plus is $6 per month. And Disney Plus is like $7 or $8. And so it makes sense for them to be at 13 or 14 or however much you pay for it. CNN plans to hire hundreds of producers, not me, contributors, not me, and developers, not me, for the effort. Some of the people familiar with the matter said the network is currently looking for executive producers, not me, to quarterback some of the programming, which will be a mix of live shows and longer content, including documentaries, which I think CNN really excels at. Didn't they do the or they might have just aired it, the SeaWorld documentary years ago. Executives haven't settled on a price. They're in early discussions about whether to include ads on the platform. Yeah, I mean, just do ads. Leave them door open for a lower cost ad-supported tier. They should do, I think it should be $5, no ads, or $6, no ads. It has to be lower than $8, because this is news. No one's going to pay for this. I don't know how much Fox Nation is. Let's see. Fox Nation price. Let's see. Fox Nation is $6 per month. So I think, if anything, make it $5 for no ads. If you have to do no ads, and then like $2 for ads. I'm serious. Like, this is news, and you don't have to give people an option. Anyway, so we got ad-supported plans coming. We got new apps coming, new shows coming. That's what the show is. I don't think I've ever done a conclusion for the show like that. Just a summation of things. Listen, if you like what you heard here, head to the website, cpluscomedy.com, where you can see me talk to your favorite comedians. Yesterday, I mentioned earlier, I did an interview. The Flula Borg video interview is up, and last week you probably got the audio version of it as well. But next week, hopefully, let's say, I'm not going to put a date on it, but I don't know, middle of the week, Wednesday? Next week, you will see me talk to, I'm going to go ahead and say friend of the show, Chris Gethard again. Yeah, Chris Gethard, 6 months later. We're going to do this every 6 months. We're going to have a little town hall every 6 months, me and Chris Gethard. Just a nice, long conversation. I was only given so much time with him, and then we went over that time because I realized that his people were not there. So, hey, baby, you give me an inch, and then as Daphne sang in Rent, I take a mile. I gave a mile. That's what she said. She's saying, I gave a mile to who? Everybody chill. I'd be happy to die for a taste of what Angel had. Someone to live for, unafraid to say I love you. Oh, so good. That's after my first favorite song, the I Cover You reprise. I'll Cover You reprise. God. I watched that movie I watched the movie. I didn't see the play because who has money for plays? And yeah, that's it. That's all I gotta say about that. I was so excited. I remember. I'll tell you this story. It's not even a story. It's just an anecdote. I used to be like a huge, like obviously a black family, huge Tyler Perry fans, which now I am not. I'll say it to his face too. But please give me a job. I was watching one of his plays that he put on, that they were released on DVD. I rented one from, I guess, Blockbuster or Hollywood Video or something like that. What, 2005? Hollywood Video. Hollywood Video has to be that. And one of the commercials before, or one of the previews before on the DVD before the play itself was Rent. And I kid you not, and I didn't have a DVD player in my room, so I had to watch it downstairs. Also, I used to have like eventually I had to, like, I was given a DVD player, and like it's portable DVD players are so cheap, especially even at the time. You could just they would break all the time, so you'd have to replace them. And I think I had at least 2 of them. But I watched the trailer for the Rent movie like so many times, and then that year during band, for our final song during band, which we played a concert for only our parents outside on the field of our middle school. We played Seasons of Love, and I was on drums. And I remember playing that, and my mom was like, "Oh, that's your favorite song, Chad." And I just like that play, Yeah, that's a little peek into my life. What were we talking about? I talked to Chris Gethard. It'll be out next week, and it's a good chat. It'll be its own release in this podcast feed. There will be a video version. I think I do have the video for that one. That is not messed up. It's not like the Flula one where I screwed up and forgot. But I do, and the Flula video looks decent enough. His video looks good. Mine does not. But definitely check it out. It's a good interview. And also the Chris Gethard one is a good interview as well. He gave me a lot of good, insightful answers, and we just had a nice time. It was a very good chat. I think he remembered. I don't know who I was. I don't know if he did, but hopefully. And definitely check it out. This has been 48 minutes. This is crazy. If you want to see a video version of this show in the meantime, you can head on over to youtube.com/C+comedy, where you can see just me sitting in a shirt and I'm pulling on it. I'm doing there's a sketch on I Think You Should Leave on Netflix, Tim Robinson show, and I've been doing this for years, like my entire life, to cool down. Where they have a tug on your shirt thing. It's like a knob on your shirt. You tug on it. It is for dads. So I'm a dad. No woman will ever sleep with me. I'm not gonna be a dad. So sad. Video version of this show, and then as well as our premiere show, News Time, which is a show where I take a story and I talk about it for a couple of minutes. This week's episode, not a lot of news in it. There's a lot of anecdotes and jokes. This week's episode is about cast reunions. And it's just an episode full of jokes. There's no news in it. In fact, I don't think I even referenced an article. I think I did. But I did. The cold open is very, very esoteric. It's so out there, and I love it. It's my rendition of the Friends theme song I made in GarageBand. And it's, imagine if you had 10 minutes to make a song. That's what it sounds like. So I really leaned into that. So definitely check it out. Instagram, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter at C Plus Comedy, Facebook C Plus Comedy. Rate, review, subscribe to the show. Tell your friends about it, please. This is free. I'm not doing it for money. Tell them to watch News Time. Go watch News Time. It's a good show. All right. Even if I say it's a bad show, it's a good show. All right, we're going. Bye.